What's up, guys? Dr. M3. Welcome to the channel for a new video. I'm with my buddy here, Johnny. You've seen him on the channel before. And he's got a Model 3 long range rear-wheel drive. And we're going to talk about in this video his experience with repair on this car. Now, he goes by Laces Out and Artistic Epoxy on Instagram. So go check him out there. But Johnny, first of all, tell us about your car and tell us about the unfortunate thing that we hope that we never have to deal with. So talk to us about what happened.
So what happened, basically one day I was heading down to the city and long story short, semi-truck is behind me, kind of comes around and decides he wanted to cut me off. And I felt that it was a bit malicious. Of course, went back on the footage on the dash cam to kind of tell what was going on there. So basically what happened is the back of his trailer smacked right about here, and fortunately I was in autopilot. And I say that because I was, dead center in my lane, and I was actually looking over because I kind of had an idea as to what he was doing. And I was looking over on this side as I wasn't holding the wheel, and all of a sudden, I was looking to make sure no one was there that I would hit it in case I needed to get over. Well, coincidentally, I just heard a and this window just shattered to a million pieces.
The window shattered?
The window completely shattered.
How about the mirror?
That
was gone?
That was gone.
Shared off.
It didn't exist anymore. I had about this. But anyways, looking back in the footage, the benefit of autopilot was the fact that when that happened, the vehicle took the impact and kind of swung over a little bit to avoid any more impact from them, but it also avoided, there was a Lincoln right over here on my other side.
Yes. Yes.
So it kept me centered between the two cars and prevented, because as you know, like if you get into an accident, someone smacks you, your natural reaction
is to pull away.
Yes. If I would have done that,
would have caused a chain reaction.
I would have destroyed the other side of my car and potentially hurt somebody.
Yes.
So I'm very grateful that it did that for me. It kept me centered, and as soon as the semi was kind of up out of the way, it turned me right back into my lane and continued going. And of course, I had his plate information and all that. Now he did stop.
Yes.
So we pulled over, and I didn't get out of the vehicle right away because I was a bit annoyed, and I was worried that it wasn't going to go over smoothly. So
you know how those circumstances happen.
Yeah,
There's a lot of emotions, a lot of adrenaline going.
I did stay calm, but I wasn't sure where his head would be at.
Yeah.
So I called up the cops, and they, were on their way, whatever. Well, about 10 minutes or so later, he starts walking up to me, and we just had, smooth conversation. You okay? This and that. Sorry about that. But he did take blame for it, and basically the damage that occurred was this door here was completely just crumpled up. Basically, there was a tiny bit of damage here where I guess his actual trailer hit. Just here a little bit. This, of course, was shattered. This was gone. And there was a tiny bit of damage down there on the rocker.
On the rocker panel.
But nothing.
The cameras were okay?
The cameras were fine. They did replace them. If you look here,
I
actually haven't rewrapped this. But this is a new black camera versus the old chrome setup that I had. Because what they had to do on the repair to paint match was they needed to peel this fender. And, of course, this needed to be rewrapped. They needed to peel that door. And so the entire side of the car, and when you do that and blend the paint, the camera has to come out. And when the camera comes out, they say that it's a one-time use thing. The clips break off. So they changed both. They did change the door sill there inside. So now those are black like the newer ones. But other than that, I got a new door, tiny little body work. And that was about it for the most part.
So do you have a sense as to what was the estimated cost for that small collision? Because I think that's what people want to know.
Well, so that small collision... It was, I believe it was estimated about $8,500. Which completely surprised me.
Was that labor or just parts? That's the whole thing?
That was parts and labor for, let's say, if that happened to a normal Tesla.
Yes.
That did not include the additional cost of having to rewrap the car.
Yes.
So they had to cover that fee. And they also had to cover downtime for me being out of work because this vehicle is used quite a bit for work.
Yeah.
I was down a total of 2 months.
Wow.
So it ended up being a large ticket for them.
Yeah.
But again, if this happened in a normal Tesla,
Yeah.
you're talking about an $8,000 repair with a new door, panel, all that good stuff.
And that's the thing that's to remember too is, you know, a small hit that would be normal on a regular car, even say front or rear. There's so many sensors around these cars that it becomes very expensive very, very quickly. Now, one of the things I want to talk a little bit about with you, and you kind of know the stats, and I'm probably not going to get it right. I'm going to throw it up on the screen, but the average miles traveled per accident for a regular car versus a Tesla in Autopilot, right? And I recall, if you remember the numbers, it's something like one accident every 300 or 400,000 miles for a regular car, and then for the Tesla, any Tesla, it's one per, I think it's 2.3 million miles. And then in Autopilot, it's one in like 3.3 million miles or something. I'm going to put those stats up on the screen for you, but that kind of just goes to show you an unusual event in a Tesla to be in an accident. It does happen, and there's some things you can't do. You actually described something that I experienced myself when I almost got hit this past winter.
I forgot
where
about
the
that,
Tesla sort of does, you know, a maneuver. And again, you're right. The mere fact that it moved out of the way a little, moved over enough to miss the other car, but to take a little bit of the brunt, to dampen the brunt of that impact.
And I honestly feel like the only reason why I didn't detect the vehicle being in my lane right away was because it was only the bottom of the trailer. You know, I might be wrong in what it detected, but I think that's what happened and why it didn't completely scoot out of the way. All
right, well, that's what happens, unfortunately, when your Tesla, and that's a problem too, right? Sometimes even just the repair may take a long time. You know, 2 months is a long time for any repair to happen.
And it was undrivable because the window was shattered, the door, you know, so I couldn't drive it in the meantime, so it was just complete downtime for me.
Well, unfortunately, hopefully that never happens to you. Johnny has the car back. We're gonna put together a few other videos for you. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.